Here's what nobody wants to admit about RDJ being Dr. Doom. Most people have already made up their minds. Either they think it's the greatest creative decision Marvel has ever made, or they think it's lazy fan service dressed up as ambition. And I get both reactions, but I think both of them are wrong, because both of them are treating this like a casting choice when it's actually something way more specific than that. The more I dug into everything RDJ has said, everything he's posted, everything Kevin Feige actually told him in that meeting, and everything the comics he's been referencing actually mean, the more I realized this isn't random. There is a very deliberate logic to all of it, and today I'm going to walk you through every piece of it, because once you see the full picture, the version of Doom we're getting in Doomsday starts to make complete sense. Let's start at the beginning, the actual beginning. At San Diego Comic-Con 2024, Kevin Feige walked onto the Hall H stage and told 6,000 people that there was one very, very important character that is required to do Secret Wars justice. Then a group of green-cloaked figures in Doom masks walked onto the stage. One of them stepped forward, pulled off the mask, and Robert Downey Jr. was standing there. The crowd chanted RDJ for almost a full minute, and RDJ said 5 words into the microphone: "New mask, same task." Then, almost as an aside, he added, "What can I tell you? I like playing complicated characters." That second sentence has been almost completely ignored. Everyone latched onto "new mask, same task." And rightfully so, because that line is doing a lot of work. But "I like playing complicated characters" is the actual tell. Because RDJ had just won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for Oppenheimer. And before that, he had spent a year playing 5 completely different characters in Park Chan-wook's The Sympathizer on HBO. He just got off 2 of the most technically and emotionally demanding performances of his career. And then he looked at Dr. Doom, a character who has spent 60 years in the comics as the most arrogant, most ruthless, most brilliant villain in the Marvel Universe, and said complicated, not fun, not exciting, complicated. That word choice matters. So how did this actually happen? Because the official story is more interesting than most people know. In a 2024 interview on the Hollywood Reporters Awards Chatter podcast, RDJ broke it down in detail. He had been staying in touch with Kevin Feige and the Russo brothers since Endgame. Jon Favreau, too. He described it as a little group of fellow travelers. He went to Feige with an idea for how he could be involved with the Disney parks, something tied to the Avengers campus and location-based experiences. Nothing to do with Doomsday. And then Feige, in the middle of that meeting, pivoted. RDJ recalled Feige saying, "It just keeps occurring to me that if you were to come back," and Susan Downey, who was in the room, immediately said, wait, come back as what?" That's when Feige brought up Victor Von Doom. Here's what RDJ said next, verbatim from that same podcast. "I looked into this character. Later on, Kevin goes, 'Let's get Victor Von Doom right, let's get that right.' And before that, he described the 3 questions Feige put on the table. How can we not go backwards? How do we not disappoint expectations? How can we continue to beat expectations? Those 3 questions are the entire philosophy of this casting. Not, how do we bring Tony back? Not, how do we give fans what they want? How do we beat what people expect? That's a completely different frame, and it's the one that led directly to Doom. Now here's where the receipts start stacking up, because RDJ didn't just agree to this and go quiet. He has been actively and continuously referencing the comics he's studying for this role, in a way that I don't think has ever happened with an MCU actor before. In May 2024, he posted a video on Instagram showing his Doom workstation essentials. And one of the items visible was Doom #1 from 2024, the most recent Doom solo series. In a later Instagram post, he panned over a table showing Secret Wars #1 by Jim Shooter and Iron Man, Legacy of Doom by Bob Layton and David Michelinie. A 2008 arc where Iron Man and Dr. Doom are forced to team up to save the world. On Thanksgiving 2025, he posted a custom illustration of Iron Man and Dr. Doom pulling a wishbone apart. On Christmas 2025, he posted a second illustration. 2 ornaments, one shaped like Doom's mask in silver, one shaped like Iron Man's helmet in gold, with the caption, "Silver and Gold." Think about the pattern across all of those posts. Every single one pairs Doom and Iron Man together. Not Doom and Reed Richards, not Doom and the Avengers. Doom and Iron Man specifically. That is not a man who is playing a completely separate character who happens to look like Tony Stark. That is a man who is telling you, consistently, for months, that the connection between these 2 identities is the entire point. And then there's Anthony Russo, who confirmed something significant to Netflix's The Electric State Press in early 2025. When asked how RDJ was approaching the role, Russo said, "He's writing backstory, costume ideas. He just really loves rich three-dimensional characters, and I think he sees a real opportunity here." An actor writing his own backstory for a character is not unusual, but an actor writing his own backstory for a villain who looks exactly like the hero he played for 15 years. That backstory is going to be about the divergence, about the point where paths separated, about what Victor Von Doom did differently than Tony Stark, or what Tony Stark did differently than Victor Von Doom, depending on which direction you believe this story is going. Now let's talk about Jeff Snyder, because he broke something important before the Comic-Con announcement that I don't think got enough attention afterward. Snyder wrote in his newsletter, this is before SDCC 2024, that he had been told Downey might come back as an alternate universe Tony Stark who becomes Dr. Doom instead of Iron Man. He added, "It seems far-fetched, yes, but I figured that if there was any hope of Downey coming back, there'd have to be a new wrinkle for him to play." That report was partially right and partially not. RDJ is confirmed to be playing Doom, not an alternate Iron Man. But Snyder's sourcing suggested there was a multiversal explanation tied to Tony Stark's identity, and that specific detail has never been fully denied by Marvel. The official position from Marvel Studios is simply that RDJ is playing Victor Von Doom. Full stop. They have not elaborated. They have not explained why he looks like Tony Stark. They have deliberately left that gap open. Here's the West Coast Avengers post. This is the one that changes everything when you look at the full pattern. After his casting was announced, RDJ posted a panel from West Coast Avengers number 35 from 1988, the issue where a boy named Christophe Bernard, who has been brainwashed into believing he is the real Dr. Doom, takes the entire Avengers team hostage. It's a story about someone who genuinely believes they are Doom, and who has to confront the question of whether that belief is real. Think about why RDJ would choose that specific issue. Out of 60 years of Doom comics, out of hundreds of issues, that is what he decided to show people. Not a Doom conquest story, not a Doom versus Fantastic Four classic. A story about identity, about believing you are someone you may not actually be, about the gap between the mask and the person wearing it. And then there's the Fantastic Four post-credits scene, which is the only confirmed on-screen appearance of RDJ's Doom so far. Doom stands maskless. Franklin Richards reaches up and touches his face. The score that plays, composed by Alan Silvestri, who wrote the Avengers theme and scored Endgame, is officially titled Doom, with a question mark. Not Victor, not Dr. Doom. A question mark. Silvestri titles his cues deliberately. That question mark is there for a reason. So here's the truth as I've been able to piece it together from all of this. I don't think Marvel is bringing Tony Stark back. I think that's the wrong frame. What I think is actually happening is that Marvel is building a villain who uses Tony Stark's face, whether as a variant, a consciousness transfer, or a deliberately constructed psychological weapon, specifically because the Avengers' relationship to that face is the most exploitable vulnerability in the entire MCU. The heroes who fought beside Tony for over a decade, the heroes who watched him die, some of them would hesitate, some of them would want it to be him, and Doom, the smartest man in any room, would know exactly how to use that hesitation. New mask, same task. RDJ said it on the biggest stage in pop culture. He wasn't talking about Iron Man transitioning to Doom. He was describing Doom's entire strategy in 5 words. New mask, the face he's wearing. Same task, reshape reality by any means necessary. Joseph Quinn, who plays the Human Torch in Fantastic Four, first steps was at MegaCon in Orlando and told the crowd about the moment at SDCC. I was there. All these masks come out and his mask came off. There were 3,000 people in the audience. The roof blew off. He's incredible, and what he does with this will be equally brilliant. Louis Pullman, who plays Sentry in Thunderbolts, told Games Radar that Downey's return is a beautiful thing because he was, in many ways, the origin of this whole universe. Jeremy Renner told Us Weekly he had no idea and started blowing up RDJ's phone through their original Avengers group chat, demanding answers. The people who know what's coming are more excited than any fan theory has accounted for. That's not nothing. These are actors who have read the script or been on set. And the level of enthusiasm, Quinn saying everyone will be blown away, Simu Liu sharing a behind-the-scenes picture and saying filming feels like a dream, is not the energy of people who think this is going to be disappointing. Here's what I keep coming back to. In that Hollywood Reporter interview, Feige told RDJ to ask 3 questions. How do we not go backwards? How do we not disappoint expectations? How do we keep beating expectations? The answer to all 3 of those questions is the same. Give them something they've never seen. Give them the actor who built this universe, returned not as the hero they loved, but as the force of nature they were afraid of. Give them a face they recognize doing things that face should never do. That's the truth about RDJ as Doctor Doom. It's not fan service. It's not a cash grab. It's the most deliberate, most carefully constructed villain introduction in the history of this franchise. Built by an actor who has been leaving clues in public for a year. Directed by men who originally said no until they had a story worth telling, and anchored in comic source material that has been pointing at this exact narrative for 60 years. The question I want to leave you with is this. At what point in Doomsday do you think the Avengers figure out this Doom is not what he appears to be? First act? Final battle? Or not until Secret Wars? Drop your answer below. And if you want to go deeper on exactly what comics RDJ's Doom is being built from, issue by issue, I'm breaking that down. Soon. Subscribe so you're ready for it.